My name is Matt Bassil, Chief Client and Partnership Officer at PizzaHQ. Background on me, I've been in the sales, marketing, tech industries in a variety of different roles for about 15 years now. And what we're building at PizzaHQ, we think is a really revolutionary concept for the category. So just think of it as like a factory model operation for pizza, serving both the community and the B2B market, which we think is really, really untapped. And we have some awesome, and unique, innovative concepts rooted in technology to help us scale out an operation like that. There's a lot of different ways I think we can take that question, but where I like to kind of start off, right, is, I feel like there's a misconception around automation in general, right? Like, I think there's a quick path to saying like automation is going to completely replace jobs, right? And the reality is every single industry is automating inefficient functions of their process, right, to increase output, increase scalability, increase efficiency. If anything, I think automation is drastically going to enhance the labor market, because what it's also going to do is create new jobs that are rooted in technology, rooted in service, rooted in, really anything that has to do with the technology that is being deployed in the particular sector, right? So it's the very short answer is it's going to have a drastic impact on the labor market, but I think it's going to significantly enhance it for the positive, which is exciting. Probably not, right? At the end of the day, people bring a culture to a restaurant, right, that the consumer loves, right? That said, right, like there are certainly going to be elements of the process, right, and we're leaning into it too, that, as I was saying earlier, create much more efficiency for the overall operation, right? And market research suggests that the consumer, from an ordering, from a pickup perspective, right, like they actually prefer a lot of those processes to be rooted in technology, right? So one of the things that we're doing, for example, that's going to benefit the consumer, besides having like, our own app, loyalty rewards program, right? But like something as simple as like pickup lockers, right? For the consumer that wants to come pick up their product, and do so quickly and efficiently, right? So, I certainly don't think it's going to be something that replaces people, right, completely, in the restaurant industry. I think people and the culture and the communication that they have with the consumer is critical to the industry as a whole. But much like any other industry, there's certainly going to be areas where the technology creates efficiency in the process. I think the simplest way to think about it, right? So at least in our world, like we're using automation to make pizza at scale, right? So, automated saucers, automated, getting the cheese on the pies, right? So on and so forth. The reality is, in that instance, there's less people actually touching ingredients, right? Which, dramatically reduces the risk of any bacteria or anything, being on the product, right? So that's a core benefit of, how it plays into the safety of the category, right? I think there are certainly other ways too, right? Just the transparency of the process from order all the way through pickup, right? Like the consumer knows exactly, when their pie was delivered, right? There's timestamps on everything. But I think the core function is there's in the instance of the food category, I think it presents an opportunity to have less humans actually handling ingredients, which is a safety benefit. that's a very interesting question. And I think just kind of, reflecting on the overall labor market, and particularly with Gen Z and how Gen Z has grown up with technology in their life, I think what you're seeing is a younger generation is completely leaning into technology in all facets of life, right? You have high school kids that are, learning through YouTube videos how to be engineers, right? Or how to code, right? And I think like just this idea of like, being an entrepreneur, being cool as like a young age, right? is only going to, further the economy and further technology, right? Because these kids are really intrigued around this space as a whole. And I think it's just going to push our economy forward significantly as it relates to technology. You're seeing it in a lot of different ways right now. I mean, I think the way that we think about it in the category is improving the front of the house for the consumer, right? And then obviously the back of the house for, the entire operation and the infrastructure of what we're producing, right? So just in the context of what we're doing, front of the house, talked about it already with like, a very digitally centric order operation, the pickup lockers, right? That are all rooted in technology, but it's actually quite sophisticated on the back of the house. And I think this is where restaurant owners can really maximize not only the output from, a scale perspective, but also really manage the efficiency of the business, right? So, how we're doing it from like an architectural standpoint, the production from a flow perspective is completely designed to maximize that output, right? From like how the kitchen is structured, to the flow of the ovens, to everything getting, put on, almost like an assembly line operation to get pizza out the door, right? Like there's a lot of thought and technology that went into how that was ultimately designed. I think the other thing that's been really, really powerful is how all these different systems then tie into your point of sale technology, right? And the point of sale technology is going to give you a ton of data, both on how your customer is ordering, what they're ordering, the volume of what they're ordering, how often they're ordering, but also how many ingredients you're using, right? As a business, right? Times of day, like a ton of different stuff that net informs future decision-making, which is powerful, right? So the short answer is, dramatically technology is affecting all elements of it, but kind of thinking of it as like front of the house and back of the house kind of helps you differentiate the two. I think, as a partner in this operation, right? I think, we're all, I think TECHCONEWZ has done an amazing job of creating a community of like-minded people, right? And it's just been a great resource for those that are interested in the category, interested in technology. And that it's a fantastic publication that we lean into regularly.